Hi, Charlie McCann's Stan James. Welcome to a preview of this midweek and weekend's football, and what a week of football there is, beginning with CSK in Moscow this evening against Internazionale. I think CSK have got a couple of suspensions. I'd love them to go through. I must say I'm not a fawner of Mourinho in any way. I'm just not convinced of this Internazionale side, but they seem to be blessed, and 11-5 CSK, they're 7-1 on Internazionale to qualify, 4-1 for CSK, into 5-4 to do the double. Of course, they won 1-0 in the first leg. Then we have Barcelona against Arsenal, with the greatest will in the world now that Alex Song has joined that long list. Arshavin, Cesc Fabregas, et al. When Robin van Persie, you've got, it is going to be very, very difficult, I think, for Arsenal. 13-2, 4-11 Barcelona. It's 1-7 Barcelona to qualify, and 4-1 for Arsenal. I just can't say. I thought they were naive in the first leg. Again, this time last week, I thought that Arsenal would press the ball better. They didn't, and I think that it's going to put too much pressure on Alex Diaby. I must say, in tonight's game, I can't think the Song, I think, is pivotal almost more than Arshavin, and probably to a lesser extent Fabregas, but I just can't see Arsenal going through. Man Utd 8-11 versus Munich. 4-1 Munich, I think, to go through. 4-5 Manchester United 10-11, and I think Munich will qualify at 10-11. I think with Sebastian Schweinsteiger likely to be back, and also Arjen Robben, I think they'll score. Wayne Rooney, the much publicised sprained ankle, and people with it's the extraordinary nonsense we had in the tabloids and the news programmes that he may miss the World Cup. Absolute nonsense. I mean, the guy, if he never had ligament damage, he was obviously had a sprained ankle, and he was going to be back sooner rather than later. Well, Rooney, of course, is this morning supposed to have trained, and he's likely to play tomorrow night. But I don't know. I'm not convinced about this Manchester United side. Very, very surprised Carrick didn't play against Chelsea. I thought Scholes and Giggs, whatever you think of them, I think they've had the time, and I was surprised. And I think Munich will qualify. The other game is Bordeaux 21-20 versus Lyon 11-4. The draw 9-4 to qualify. 11-4 Bordeaux, and I think that's a bit big. Bordeaux are top of the league by a point. Lyon, of course, have got the European heritage. They've got the history with them, but quite like this Bordeaux side. I thought they were unlucky, and I thought they would create chances. And Lyon 10-1, Bordeaux 33s. If I was having a bet in the outright, and I haven't had a bet in the outright, it probably would be Bordeaux at 33-1. I think they're overpriced. I think 11-4 for them to qualify is a big price, but Munich for me as well. Europa League on Thursday, Wolfsburg 8-11 to qualify against Fulham, 8-11 also to win the game, 15-4. I think the time might just run out for Fulham. Fulham 9-1 to win the Europa League. Not a great Wolfsburg side by any means, but again, Roy Hodgson, listening to Roy Hodgson, he was as proud of his team to come back from a goal down against Wigan as they were beat Juve and also Wolfsburg. But I think at the sands of time, quickly going through Atletico Madrid, we're on, that's our selection, a 33-1. Let's hope they get through to the next round. 2-2 from the first leg in Valencia. They are 1-2 to qualify against Valencia. 8-5 Liverpool. This is a big game on Thursday. 4-6 to qualify against Benfica. 6-5. Can't call it for me. Benfica won 4-2 last night. They score goals, this Benfica team, and Liverpool will really, really press them and get after them, but they've got some good players. And kid yourself out, Demaria, we've flagged up for months during this tournament, and I think if Glenn Johnson bombs forward, I think they could utilise the space in behind. Out of all the games, I think Benfica versus Liverpool is the one I'm looking forward to. At the weekend as well, we've got two FA Cup semi-finals. Chelsea should get through 4-7 to win in 90 minutes against Villa 9-2. Villa got back to winning ways, and a good solid performance which they needed, but Chelsea was so good at Wembley last year against Everton, the FA Cup final, and that performance I thought was very, very professional against Manchester United at Old Trafford. They deserved to win. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Is it fate that Portsmouth will join them in the final? I wonder. It could be so ironic if Portsmouth were to go through, because you could argue that their FA Cup win was almost pivotal as to why they've got into such financial problems. But Spurs should have too much. Spurs 2-7, 15-2 for Pompey in the draw at 4-1. Also some Premier League games. Blackburn against United. Again, this is no gimme. 4-9 for United. It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night against Munich, whether that price alters. If United get through impressively, maybe 4-9 will look big. I think this is a decent Rovers side. I think they are difficult to beat, and arguably very unlucky not to get all 3 points from Fratton Park last weekend. But the big game in many ways, of course, probably the one which will go to deciding one game, if it decides something this week, will be El Gran Clasico on Saturday evening rather, in the Bernabeu. But it's likely that Barcelona will think they have one foot back in the Bernabeu in May, this Saturday in May, of course Saturday night for the first time, the Champions League final. But if they want to retain the La Liga title, they've probably got to get at least a draw in Bernabeu on Saturday night against the Whites, and I don't think they'll do it. I think Barcelona are a better team, but I think this may be the defining moment for the Galacticos of Real Madrid. Now Real Madrid 11-8, the draw 5-2, and Barca 19-10. I know Barca will have Piqué, Carlos Puyol, probably Zlatan back for that game, but I just think the Whites of Real Madrid will do it. But what a week of football, is whether it be Munich versus Manchester United. This evening, Arsenal in the Camp Nou. Benfica going to Anfield on Thursday night. 2 FA Cup semi-finals, and then El Gran Clasico. What a weekend of football. We've got it all covered at Stan James. Be lucky.